All right, got the scene to change. Anyway, welcome in, welcome back. This is Above Ground World News, and we got a lot of crazy stuff to get into, just like we do every night. Mass fires exploding down here in Australia. We got some weird stuff going on in Australia. You got weird stuff going on the West Coast. Tons of news that I can't even get into. I mean, I got so much stuff that we can't even hit on. But anyway, let's just hit a couple of the headlines because these are important. So not only do we have the bunker fuel operations off the West Coast, which we'll get into here in a little bit. Remember a couple of days ago, I talked about this volunteers needed for the 2019 San Mateo County flood exercise. This is going on Thursday, November 21st. Well, just a few days later, after this comes out, we get this article coming out of Yahoo News. You got the wildfires, power outages, now flooding with a question mark. California has a dam problem. Desert communities might be in danger. So now they're saying California have recently endured the dual hardships of wildfires, mass power outages, I could add a bunch of stuff. Corrupt governments, ship tracks, chemtrails. I mean, I can go on and on. But what's going on here is the U.S. Army Corps switched the dam safety action classification of the Mojave River Dam from low urgency to high urgency of action. That's meaning steps must be taken to safeguard communities close to the river. Aspera, Apple Valley, Victoriaville, Barstow from flood hazards. A recent assessment determined that in extreme weather event, water could flow over the nearly 50-year-old dam and it could breach, endangering 16,000 residents downstream, $1.5 billion worth of property. What measures should be taken? Well, I got a real, I watched a video the other day about how they can green parts of the desert in just a couple of years, how they can fix the ecosystem in just a couple of years. And I got that link down in the description. We'll get into that in a minute. So see what kind of measures do they want to take here. The most immediate one is raising awareness about the importance of preparation among residents. How about fixing the dams? So residents are encouraged to assemble an emergency kit, sign up for phone alerts, and formulate an evacuation plan. See, this is just more land grabs. So the minimal, but it does exist, the dam is about 200 feet at its highest water mark, 72 feet in 2005. Blah, blah, blah. All right, let's go ahead and get out. All these links are in the description. And now they're saying the fire season could last through December with no rain in sight, even though there's tons of moisture out off the West Coast. They're just scaring you into fires. Everybody move out of California. They want you to move. They're taking the land. And then they do things like this. They're trying to make this sound like this helps for the wildfires. The Laguna Beach uses 1,000 goats to help prevent wildfires. See, people don't understand, these goats are eating up the grasses and the shrubs and the trees. They're eating up everything that holds the moisture into the land. Like, this is the worst thing to do ever. And if you watch this video right here, and I'll post this link in the chat. Somebody wants to post it over to the other platforms, that'd be cool. But this is John D. Liu, and he's gone around all across the world. He was a photographer, and he watched the Chinese or over in India, how they fixed a desert land just in a couple of years. And they can fix this land, and what's causing, a lot of these droughts is over farming the hillsides and not letting the natural growth grow. So now when it rains, when you have like the goats eating the side of the hills, there's no way for the water to stay on the land. It's just washing straight down. It's not it's not soaking the moisture in. It's not letting all the insects grow underneath the foliage because the foliage is all getting washed off. He's done this around the world in tons of different places where they've took a completely desert area and turned it back green within just a few years. So this nonsense about the climate crisis and all the climate stuff could easily be fixed by how they do the farming, by letting areas repair itself and then move your farm animals, a little bit different and stuff like that. So this was a really good video on how you could actually fix the real climate issues, by tearing the land off. It's really informative. It does talk a little bit about sustainability stuff, but man, this video right here tells it all. It tells the true story of how to fix what is going on now. This is the exact opposite of what they should be doing. So just more stupid stuff coming out of the West Coast and the tyrannical governments. And if that's not bad enough for you on the West Coast, Taxpayers Association warned PG&E bills in the county could rise significantly amid the bankruptcy proceedings. They already pay the highest taxes, across the United States. Everything. I mean, our gas is like $2 a gallon. It's like $5 a gallon out there. Rent is ridiculous. To me, it's land grabs. They're trying to take the land, and then they're trying to force people to move out of there. They're making it so expensive you can't live there. They don't want you there. So in other news, we got a bunch of weird health stuff going on. So this lady here, a medical device used during labor falls out of the patient 10 weeks later. I mean, it's some kind of like diode with wires hanging off it. So pretty crazy stuff. And that's not the only thing. Look at that thing. That thing was in her body for 10 weeks. And we're seeing this all the time. I mean, what is going on with these doctors that they're sewing this stuff up in there? Then in Oklahoma, you had a whole group of home residents hospitalized after they gave everybody the wrong medication in Bartersville, Oklahoma. So they let's see what they give them here. So they believe insulin shots were mistakenly given instead of flu vaccine. How this happened is unclear, but as of Wednesday night, they indicated this was an apparent accident. So wow. So people got insulin instead of the flu shot, which, I mean, I don't know, that might have been better for, whoa, what's this crap? I don't know where that's coming from. All right, we got Washington may become the first state to legalize human composting. So apparently, instead of, burning your ashes or bury it in the ground, now they want to stick you in some silos to dissolve and then put you on this fake GMO food crops. Man. This is where we're headed. This is some crazy stuff going on. You got a pretty good snowstorm going on up in Canada. The mainstream is hyping up this cold air that is coming in. I'm not going to get into this one. They make it sound like we're having some crazy cold front, man. It's like 30-degree weather coming in. And And they're making it sound like it's, you know, Snowmageddon. Alright, did I lose my side? Okay. Let me make sure these are all up. Alright, okay, here we go. So this article came out, and I think this is a lot of geoengineering watch stuff here. I mean, we pick up these clouds that look like, you know, they call them gravity wave clouds. We call them microwave clouds because that's what they are. So he's got a pretty good list of a bunch of them on here. But what I was wanting to show you is the guy that created the patents for this actual technology. And I had to go back here to the Wayback Machine, talking about the gravitational waves demonstrated as clouds. You know, these can happen over mountains and stuff, or some kind of obstacle, but we're seeing these things out in the middle of nowhere. So the air is forced upwards and gravity forces it back down. This generates a wave in the atmosphere called a gravity wave. The wave amplitude of such a vertically wave can increase the altitude because of air density, blah, blah, blah. Let's get on down here. So cosmetic ignited plasmas in the atmosphere can be heated by microwave and generate gravitational waves. There are some indication that Hart may be generating them right now. So this is a really old article back in 2013, but I mean, we're seeing these clouds where they shouldn't be. So the plasma formed in the atmosphere using cosmic particle ignition methods can be used to weather research and weather modification in a number of ways. The plasma can act as a heater. It can be designed to have energy, general acoustic and gravitational waves by heating the atmosphere, modulating and heating rate by modulating the power of the heating beam. The heating can be applied to specific portions of a hurricane and potentially modify its strength or direction. So this is coming out of Eastland, the guy at Bernard Eastland, who come up with a lot of these patents. So you got the plasma patterns providing electrical circuit element in a mesocyclone. You know, we're seeing this across the world because that's what they're doing. Anyway, all these links are in the description. Oh no, what? I just closed a link. Let me see what I just closed, because I don't think that was what I was wanting to close yet. History. Oh man, okay. Alright, no big deal. Anyway, we point these out all the time. Like, you could see them. Like, there's one down here. See, now I don't know. That definitely wouldn't be a HARP station. I don't know who drew this on here. But, I mean, these are what the microwave clouds, they can call them gravity wave clouds. But this is usually what an island can actually form these clouds. Without knowing what island this is, for one thing, it wouldn't be a HARP station. It'd be a ionospheric heater, because there's only one HARP. HARP is up in Alaska, and that's just the name of the facility. So this picture really kind of misrepresents what's really going on here, because, you know, for one thing, these aren't HARP clouds. These are not HARP station. It'd be an ionospheric heater, and these would be microwave clouds. So anyway, that takes care of that. We're probably done with that. All right, before we get into the West Coast, check out what's going on here in Australia. Look at this dust. We have a dust storm with a firestorm. I mean, this is insane down here. And then the smoke's actually starting to create a weather system. You got aerosols being deployed down here in the south. But, I mean, these are some gnarly fires here. Some crazy color smoke. So, you know, just a couple of weeks ago, not even a week, last week, they were bombarding this area with the aerosols. Now these look way worse than the fires that even went on in California. I mean, these things are gray and, you know, I don't know what's going on right here. That looks like a volcanic flume coming out off the coast, but look at the colors of this smoke. I mean, these are big time fires, all igniting pretty much at the same time. And then another weird anomaly to the west. Let me back this up a few days. See if that's it. We're constantly getting crazy smoke over here. Now, this is like the third or fourth time I've seen this dark green gray smoke. I have no idea if this is some kind of volcanic thing or what's going on out here. It looked to me like they were burning tires, but I really have no idea what that is. And then I want to show it to you on the ram slider. Now this is pretty nuts. If I can get this to work tonight, let me back this up. See if this will load up. Now what's strange is you see some little lights shooting over and then the fires ignite. So this almost looks like they were definitely like rockets were shot or something, because you can pick it up on the heat map of the lights. Yeah, so this thing was all loaded, but look, here comes the dust storm. And then all the fires started through the night, right where you've seen the little light beams shooting across. I mean, this is an insane picture in itself. You got aerosols being deployed in the south. Oh, hey, thanks out there, Troy and D&D. Much love out there. Hey, thanks to everybody that sends stuff to the PayPal. I got a few letters. I forgot to bring them up again, so I can't read the names. But anyway, much love. Thanks for helping us. But yeah, look at this smoke, man. You got fire, smoke, and dust mixing out here. So insane. I'm just kind of scrolling this out. This is 36 frames, one picture every hour. They kind of went down for a minute, and then they just started exploding again. I mean, look how big time they're exploding in an hour. It's like, look at these things. What are these? I mean, that is pretty crazy. So then we're into today now, through the night. Yeah, it's taking a while to load this thing. I don't know why this thing runs so crappy as soon as I start the stream. But now it's all kind of mixing together. You know, what are they trying to conjure up down here? Look at this thing now. So this is today. So yeah, just some freaky stuff going on down here. Same thing. You have a high-speed rail going in. You have the aerosols. And then you had the fires. Same thing that happened on the West Coast, except this is actually more extreme than the West Coast. And if I go back, oh, I can't just go back. What I can show you, though, is over here on the carbon monoxide. If I make sure we're on now. Okay, this is now if I go back a day or two. You're going to see this flume that ignites right here. This is where that super funky black smoke is. Look at that. I don't know if that's volcanic. I don't know what this is. So I don't know the terrain down here. I don't know what's down there, but that's pretty crazy. It just pops out of nowhere. Now that's an explosion. You can see the fires popping off. So yeah, we got some crazy stuff going on. Let's go ahead and go look over on the West Coast and put it on now. So here we are now. So it's really looking horrible levels of air, the carbon. Let's check out the carbon dioxide. Man, it's in the green. We're almost off the chart on the carbon dioxide. Then, of course, here's the sulfur. And let's check the particulates. Here's our dust. So most likely there's some really bad air quality alerts for Southern California, up in the BC area. May have a volcano going off up there in Alaska. The crazy thing, man, we got, get this on the air. We have 3 typhoons going right now at the same time. And all this moisture is going to the east. All this moisture should be coming up over to the West Coast. The bunker fuel operations are right here. And they're blocking and turning everything up. You got southern tropical, subtropical moisture coming up, being pulled up and over California. Then you got all these waves that are coming from the east that are being stopped also. Oh yeah, there's probably some PM10s coming off the but they're also from fires. I mean, they're particulates. It could be fires, could be dust. Yeah, this is pretty bad. I mean, look, we got it coming. It's everywhere out here. PM10s are just bigger microns of the particulate matter. It could be anything. So, yeah, pretty bad. I guess while we're here, let's go ahead and check the, see what's going on with the polar vortex winds. See how it's really dying down. All this wind is going to be gone here probably within the week. And then all them winds are going to be up here. You know, they're trying to send the polar vortex. Look at that rapid heating event. They're heating it up again. Let me back that up. So it looks like they're just heating the same area over and over. It's like they're heating this to push the wind up and out. So here's our cold air that is over us right now. See, we're not really in the super cold. Even though the mainstream is pushing this super cold, crazy, you know, polar vortex coming down, it's not that cold air. We're talking 30 degrees, 20 degrees. It's not like Arctic cold. And I noticed they're pushing the feels like temperature again, trying to get into your mind and make you think, man, it's going to be so cold, because they're using the feels like temperatures. They're not using the actual temperatures. And we look right here. Here's where the bunker fuel operations are. They're actually kind of more in the low pressure, it looks like. Let me put the pressures on. Yeah, so the bunker fuel, most generally, they're in the high pressures, but they're not now. When you look at this, man, all the winds, this is the jet stream, all the winds should be pushing the atmospheric river over here. Let's put it on the atmospheric river. And take that out just so we can see it. So, I mean, look at this moisture being blown straight over. It's blowing straight over, and this is pulling up, and then it's being blocked. I mean, it's completely blocked. There's no winds blowing backwards to stop it. There's no high pressure to stop it. How the hell are they stopping this moisture when there's no high pressure stopping it? The winds aren't pushing it back. So it has to be something to do with the ships out here. They have to be part of controlling this jet stream in this atmospheric river. It's nuts. Let's go ahead and go take a look at the West Coast. See, when you have it on the regular layer, you can't even see the bunker fuel operations till you hit this, and you got to really scroll in. There's so much bunker fuel out here that, you know, it's all bleeding together in the yellows. And then you just have complete mass bombardment from the sky in Northern California. I mean, look at all these aerosols being deployed through Northern California. Oh, Oregon's just completely waxed, completely bombarded. In the little video I'll play here in a minute, it just shows, I mean, you got S-turns going. I mean, this is just a big time spraying operation. Washington getting waxed. Out off the coast, you got mega tankers out here dumping all kinds of stuff. In the little video I did before the show here, it shows that these bunker fuel are not coming up on the sulfur maps. They're not coming up as water vapor. They're not coming up as any known substance. Hey, thanks out there, Super Dave, just seen that. So here, let's play this little clip. If you didn't get to watch the video I just posted before the show, I'm going to go ahead and run that real quick. If I can get the broadcaster brought back up. So let me try to bring this up. And hopefully I hit the right scene. So here, just hang on a second here.
The Navy Warfare Development Command tested a new anti-ship missile defense system June 21st through 25th. Pandora Fog consists of shipboard radar-absorbing carbon fiber clouds tested under a variety of at-sea conditions using assets from the U.S. Army, Navy, and Air Force. These man-made clouds are part of a layered defense and are capable of preventing a missile from detecting and striking its target.
All right, guys, so here we are documenting the bunker fuel operation still in effect off the West Coast. You can see they just keep circling around, pumping the bunker fuel out. Also, something I'm noticing, something happened to the atmospheric river over here. They are pushing it straight down, and it's merging with the tropic air, and then they're blowing it up and around the created high pressure system. And you can also see the aerosols come just blasting in over the Washington, Oregon, Northern California area. And then here we are looking at the nighttime microphysics imagery, which we can clearly see them pumping it out on this layer too. So we're just trying to document a few of these. Speed that up just a little bit. Clearly a huge bunker fuel operation off the West Coast, still setting up for something. Maybe it's to help stop all this moisture from going straight over to the West Coast. Take you over here to the Earth null. So this is the sulfur dioxide at the surface. This is what's normally coming out of the cargo ships. You can see these shipping lanes and how they're producing high amounts of sulfur dioxide, creating lines. And you can see them throughout off the West Coast going up to the Aleutian Island chains. I mean, they're all across the planet. You can see down here in the Gulf of Mexico, and they're everywhere. So all these long straight lines are high amounts of the sulfur dioxide from the shipping lanes. But you know, when we get down here to where they're spraying now, they're usually just straight lines. And let me show you something else. Now here's the levels of the sulfur dioxide on the GO 17. We can see there's tons of sulfur dioxide coming out of the Hawaiian Islands, going up a huge flume of sulfur dioxide. And then down here in the southern part of the Bajas, but where the bunker fuel ships are, it's not showing the sulfur dioxide. So what are they pumping out here? Let's take a quick look at the cirrus layer, which just shows a lot of the aerosols that are being deployed by the aircraft, which you can see this is all clearly man-made clouds. So let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit on the aerosols that are being deployed by the aircraft. See, super concentrated, and we even are getting S-turn formations, figure eights, just tic-tac-toes all over. I mean, we got some crazy formations going on. This is all man-made clouds. Look at these guys over here off the coast, really producing some thick aerosols are being deployed. Targeted area, non-stop. I mean, this is completely bombarded with man-made synthetic clouds. You can really see they're dropping tons of crisscrossing patterns. Bunch right there off of North California, and some super thick ones right off the coast of Oregon, a big X, which really billows out pretty quick. Still not showing the bunker fuel through the cirrus layer, but you can see the cloud inversion, the fog, the whatever they're pumping out of these ships. And now we're looking at the albedo layer, and you can clearly see all the bunker fuel in here. Albedo is just another name for particulates up in the sky, like the aerosols from the chemtrail planes. That's why they call it albedo modification. Alright, so let's take a look at the lower level water vapor. We can see that they're clearly not producing water vapor. Neither is the aircraft in the lower levels, so it's not showing up as water vapor. Alright, so we're looking at the Ghost 17, looking at the lower level water vapor, and it looks like whatever they're deploying is eating away the water vapor. You can see the black lines. That means they're eating away any moisture that's trying to get over here. So we're starting to see them in this layer. And you can also see the planes that are deploying up here are not producing so-called contrail water vapor. Another interesting thing is this bunker fuel operation is right smack center of the 33rd degree line, in between the 30 and the 40. When we take a look at it at the cloud particle size imagery, we can see what appears to be a fog or cloud inversion that's not showing up as anything, but this is right where the bunker fuel operations are. So what are we looking at? Are we looking at a Pandora fog type scenario? Whatever it is, it's not water vapor. Trying to get that to so we can definitely see it's brighter where the bunker fuel is being deployed. And here's a closer view of what these ships are doing out here. We know it's not water vapor. We know it's not sulfur. So what is it? Is it the carbon fiber cloud exercise? So I want to take a look at the nighttime microphysics. And the first thing I notice is this over here. Some kind of energy is being forced down, creating what they call gravity wave clouds. But this is, I'm going to bring in a paper later tonight that talks about the guy who built Hart, what this is. So we definitely have energy being forced down. And then the huge bunker fuel operation, then we can see the atmospheric river is actually being, it's going to bypass. We're going to see it blocked from going into California, even though everything is blowing right towards California, but they're going to stop it. Just a quick look at Typhoon Hailong out here. This is the Guam Islands here, but this is going right up towards into all the weird frequencies that we're seeing. See it turn into a Category 5, Category 4, back up to a Category 5, to a Category 3, and now it's dropped down to a Category 1, headed right up into the area where the bunker fuel between the 30 and 40 nautical area. So let's take a look at this on the Mimic map. This is the Mimic, the Mort microwave imagery. This is the brightness temperature of the hurricane. Everything is time stamped here. We can see it starting out super small, super powerful. We're just letting that run through. We see it pulsing. It's pulsing. It's not pulsing with the sun. And boy, the cloud top temperature just really heats up as it's weakening. So we start out here on the 5th, 6th, then up into, it'll turn into the 7th. Here we are today. So it definitely looks like it's been manipulated, because there's nothing out here that can change this other than manipulation. The atmospheric conditions. We'll take a look at the wind shear. So as we take a look at the shear is in the red lines. We can see there's no wind shear whatsoever that slowed this typhoon down. The shear's way up here. So something heated this up to slow it down. This is the current image. Let's see if I can animate it. May not be able to. Yep, won't let me. Figures. So you have all this moisture, all this energy, pretty much headed straight, if it stayed straight in line to where the bunker fuel operations are going on. Do you think any of this moisture will get to California? I really doubt it. It looks like they're actually cooking the moisture out of the storm. So to me, it really looks like we're either looking at some kind of carbon fiber clouds. Something is going on out here, and it's not water vapor. It's not sulfur. I'm really not sure what it is. We're going to have to find out. All right, so there you go, man. And here they are. You should be able to see these much better. These are right out off the coast of California. And here they are. They don't show up as water vapor. They don't show up as sulfur, which is generally what comes out of the bunker fuel ships or the cargo ships or the cruise liners. These are something else. I don't know what the hell they're doing. We always see these before major events. So all I can say is head on a swivel, because I mean, this has been going on for 4 and 5 days now. So they're definitely setting up something big time out here. So we got to keep our eyes on that. Oh, another weird thing YouTube did to me today. So the following links on your channel have been flagged. They have been reviewed and removed as they're in violation of our community guidelines. So this Restream program that I use that helps me stream to all the different platforms. We stream to Twitch, Facebook, DLive, the Above Ground page on Facebook, and YouTube. Well, apparently that is against the YouTube guidelines. They keep popping that link out. They're not giving me a strike, but they're just saying they removed it. So what the heck is that about? How could that be in violation of their community? Like, they're just hitting me hard here lately, last couple days. So I tried to find out what is in these carbon fiber clouds, and of course they're not going to tell you. So I tried to dig that up, and I couldn't find anything while that video was running. So I guess it's unknown. All right, so let's take a quick look at some of the other weirdness going on. We got mass spraying operation over Tucson, Arizona, Sonora, the Bajas, and it goes right on up into New Mexico. Look at this line. Look how they stopped the line. I'm probably right here, or somewhere in the line. Like I can look out the backyard, and this cloud is in the backyard, and it's clear in the front yard. You have aerosols being deployed. If you really zoom in, so they're really loading this storm up for the south. So everybody in the south, you're getting ready to get hit. You got a spraying operation down here in the Gulf of Mexico. Huge X. I mean, this was a massive X out here in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. And we got some kind of weird dripping clouds, dripping aerosols here off the coast of New Jersey, Delaware, going right on up the whole East Coast. And here comes our cold. That's probably snow on the ground right there. It's just crazy how the mains, look at the green up here. What the heck? You don't think they're heating the Bering Strait? Look at that. That has been intentionally heated to melt any ice up here. So, wow, they definitely got it melted pretty good. So, yeah, look at these clouds, man. Pretty nasty stuff. I'm just going to kind of scroll through. We have aerosols being deployed across Argentina. Oh, there's something weird going on. Where was that? It's over here. Not really weird. But, you know how they always say aerosols, the water vapor, the temperatures have to be, so cold for a contrail to form. Well, look at this, man. We're in the desert. The big weather modification companies are right here in the United Arab Emirates. And you go right here. We have aerosols being deployed. We have X patterns in the desert. We have deserts. This is all desert. And you have aerosols, being deployed over the deserts where there is no humidity for a contrail to form. Look, we have microwave clouds. And we know the weather generator is online. They're creating this. See, there's no island to create this. This is a man-made microwave signature from the electromagnetics that the global trading company is using right now. They pushed off the typhoon straight over. We have typhoons everywhere. We got one right here in India. We got one here in the South China Sea. And then here's Typhoon Hailong or Holong, whatever. And they're all being pulled straight to the east. So just crazy stuff going on with the weather modifiers. And for people that don't believe that we have weather weapons, I got one more short clip for you. It's a pretty quick clip.
Russian soldiers overseas.
Thank you. I'd like to just get on to Mr. Fletcher. Another question on the in an interview with the Los Angeles Times on April 21st, you said that you told the Associated Press that the American government has created weather tampering techniques so that the New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans and to control the rest. Would you explain what you were trying to say?
Well, what I was trying to say is exactly what I said. There is weather control techniques. We have a complete package on that, which I did not bring, but I certainly will see to it that it is brought in for the record. Number one, the entire patents on the equipment. Number two, Senator Claiborne Pell's complete statement and story of his own that not only does it exist, but that we even utilize it as far back as the Vietnam War. You might want to touch base with Senator Pell.
I just want to repeat before I turn to
So yes, but we do have all that information.
You're saying the government has created weather tampering techniques so that the, quote, New World Order will be able to starve millions of Americans,
Worldwide.
and to control the rest.
Yes, sir, and that's my belief. As bizarre as that sounds, if somebody had told me that that equipment even existed 10 years ago, I would have thought they were nuts, sir. And at this point in time, we have all the documents to prove it. And if you think that 85 tornadoes takes place in the middle of our growing area by simultaneous accident, I'm sorry. With the equipment that's already set up internationally, and as bizarre as that is, it is proven and documented. We will supply you with those documents. As bizarre as that is, I would say that weather wars, and this is quoting actually Senator Claiborne Pell himself, that they are the greatest weapon ever created in the world, and that's the senator's own statement. So yes, I do stand on that.
Thank you, Mr.
All right, so there you go. While we were listening to that, I was looking over here. Look at the aerosols being deployed in the Black Sea. Complete man-made synthetic clouds that go all the way up into Russia, all the way through the Black Sea, down to Istanbul. We have a mass spraying operation where we at the Sea of Crete. We have just a bombardment of aerosols being deployed throughout this whole, I mean, you could play tic-tac-toe 1,000 times out here. Mass spraying operations. You can always tell the man-made clouds from the real clouds. You know, the real clouds will be white, puffy clouds. We have a freak dust storm also going off here in the desert. And like I said, we have chemtrails over the desert, which defies all laws of meteorology because there's no moisture up there. We have a big fat aerosols being deployed over Spain, Madrid, and we really can't see the UK because they're completely whited out because they've been getting hit storm after storm after storm. Whoa, what was that? We got some kind of weird blue line going through. So what was that? Is that a meteor that come through or what? I don't know what that is. Aerosols in the middle of the Atlantic. All right, so let's take one quick look at the spraying operation here over Oregon and Washington. This is probably the worst one in America right now. Let me put a little enhancement so we can see it a little better and slow it down. So you can see right here, you know, they want to call this water vapor. These are all chemtrails. They want to call them contrails. You can see the S pattern and the tic-tac-toe boards, and you look over here off the coast, you see super heavy C-130s are dropping out big old liners like that, and then just up and down. I mean, just mass artificial synthetic aerosols being deployed. Look, this guy did a figure eight. We got a figure eight over here. Look at that double figure eight right there. All synthetic, all man-made. Everybody has throat problems right now. Everybody's coughing, and it's from all these fake-ass clouds that shouldn't be out here. If it wasn't for all these aircraft out here, wouldn't be a cloud in the sky. These are all man-made. We could get this out to the full view. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous what we're doing. You know, they try to say that we have a population problem. We do not have a population problem. We have a depopulation program from the elites, from the dark side. And that's what's going on. It's definitely not, it's not overpopulation, it's depopulation. If you go look through India and all these other places, they are making people have defertilization. All the women over there have to go through, they'll do like 800 women in like 3 hours to where they can't have kids. See, they're doing this all over, and if you look, the birth rates are going down everywhere. And some of the news I'm not going to be able to get into tonight. We have syphilis or scabies outbreak going on in Florida. Ibuprofen for infants is being recalled. There's now a company that's making coffee without the coffee beans. It's fake coffee. Should be on the stores here in about a year. Smart street lights are using facial recognition. This is pretty crazy. Over in China, they're imposing gaming curfews on the kids. Like, the kids over there between certain ages can only play 3 hours during the weekend. They can only spend $29 a month on a game. And during the week, they can only spend like 30 minutes a day or something like that. That's how, you know, they control all their people, even all the way down to game playing. So it's pretty nuts, man. So anyway, guys, that's what we're going to call this a show. Thanks to everybody out there that helps us out and all that stuff. And we'll try to get back here tomorrow night, God willing. We need to rise up. West Coast, you need to stand up right now. You guys are being burned out of your properties. Pretty soon it'll be floods, mudslides. And, you know, the taxes are trying to tax you out. Somebody needs to stand up over there. I mean, that's your side. You need to round the people up before it's too late. Anyway, guys, much love. We're going to play a song called Rise on the way out. And we'll play our fight song, then we'll play the victory song. Anyway, guys, much love. See you tomorrow night. We'll see if we can get this thing to switch scenes. I moved stuff around, like I know where it is now, so hopefully I can hit the right button. And it may not work. We'll try it here. All right, here we go. Crank it up.